My science teacher, Mr. Sterling, slammed the lab door shut and turned the deadbolt. He didn't look like the calm man who usually enjoyed explaining covalent bonds. He looked possessed. Someone in this lab stole $2,500 worth of lab-grade silver nitrate in my personal emergency fund, he said, his voice dropping to a dangerous low. And I have a very strong feeling I'm looking right at the thief. He was staring directly at me. I felt the heat rise to my face. That money was for his daughter's specialized insulin pump. He mentioned the fundraiser just yesterday. Nobody leaves until I check every single lab station and backpack in this room, he barked. He dragged a stool to the front, blocking the exit. Kian, my lab partner, leaned over. Bro, why is he burning a hole for your head? Did you do something? I shook my head, my heart hammering against my ribs. Mr. Sterling started the search. The first student opened his bag. Mr. Sterling dumped it onto a lab table. A flask of stolen ethanol rolled out. Confiscated. The second student had her bag searched. A pair of high-end safety goggles from the prep room fell out. Suspended on the spot. The third student, a quiet guy named Leo, had a notebook fall out. A folded paper slipped out titled, The Periodic Table of My Love for Mr. Sterling. It had little hand-drawn hearts around the symbol for gold O. The class erupted. He was instantly dubbed the Alchemist of Hearts. But as the search moved closer to our row, the mood shifted. Kian was shaking, not just a little. His hands were rattling the glass beakers on our station. You good, man? I whispered. He didn't answer. Only our station was left. Kian leaned in, his breath smelling like nervous energy. Bro, I took it. I panicked. My brother needs a transplant. We're drowning in debt. I saw the envelope in his desk and I snapped. I stared at him, horrified. Then Kian grabbed my arm. Please, if he finds it, tell him you gave it to me to hide. I'll pay it back, I promise. My brother is all I have. I looked at his desperate eyes, then thought of my own future. I can't, Kian. I have a full-ride engineering scholarship. I can't have a felony on my record. Kian's face didn't crumble. It hardened. The desperation vanished, replaced by something cold and calculated. Kian, your turn, Mr. Sterling said. Kian walked up and dumped his bag. Out fell a calculator, a half-eaten sandwich, and then the heavy white envelope. Mr. Sterling ripped it open. The cash was all there. The room went silent. I waited for Kian to apologize, to cry, to explain. Instead, he pointed a shaking finger at me. He forced me to do it. Kian screamed. He told me he'd ruin my reputation if I didn't hide it for him. He's been stealing for weeks. Check his locker. He told me he has a stash of stolen tech in there. My stomach did a somersault. He's lying. I shouted, but security was already entering the room. They didn't ask questions. They marched me down to my locker with Mr. Sterling and Kian trailing behind. Open it, the guard ordered. I punched in my code, confident I was safe. But when the door swung open, sitting right on top of my chemistry textbook was a vintage gold watch. Mr. Sterling gasped, his face turning pale. That was my grandfather's. It's been missing from the faculty lounge for 3 weeks. He looked at me with pure disgust. I trusted you. I've never seen that in my life. I yelled, looking at Kian. He just gave me a small, tragic-looking shrug. Why, man, we were friends, he said softly, acting for the crowd of students filming us. Minutes later, I was in the principal's office. The police were being called. Grand larceny, possession of stolen goods. My scholarship felt like it was dissolving in acid. The principal pulled up the hallway security footage. It was useless. The camera outside my locker was under maintenance. During the period Kian had been wandering the halls earlier that day. I was trapped. Then, the door flew open. A young boy, no older than 12, stood there holding a tablet. It was Kian's younger brother, Toby. He was trembling, but not from illness, from anger. He's lying, Toby shouted, holding up the tablet. I don't need a transplant. I'm perfectly fine. Kian lunged for the tablet, but a police officer held him back. I found his trophy box under the floorboards in our room, Toby said, his voice cracking. He's been stealing from lockers for months because he wants to buy a motorcycle. He's got a list of locker codes on here that he got by watching people from the hallway. Look, he swiped the screen to show a spreadsheet of names, locker numbers, and codes, including mine. The silence that followed was deafening. Kian's empty eyes finally filled with fear. The police didn't need any more evidence. They took Kian out in handcuffs while his own brother watched, finally ending the chemistry of a friendship built on lies.